Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining Robyn and Chris, your hosts, for another at-home tasting experience.
We're happy to have you here again. I hope everyone is staying safe. But let's go ahead and sprinkle in some fun and excitement because there are some wonderful things happening at Viansa that Chris is so excited to share with all of you.
And today is a very, very special tasting for a couple reasons. One being we're debuting our summertime white selection for the first time. We've got a couple new grapes in bottle, which are going to be very fun to taste through. We hope you can bring these into your homes right now during the current COVID conditions and brighten up your day a little bit. Another reason that this is very special for us is this is really the culmination of a dream and a vision that I had with my brother ever since we knew we had the opportunity to take Viansa back. Growing up on the property, mom and dad raised us there from young ages, and we saw this winery grow and blossom and flourish, and to see it go away was a tremendous loss for us. But then being able to bring it back has been one of the greatest honors and privileges of my life. And we were able to put together some very cool stuff on label that represents some of the new things that are going on there. Pardon the sneak in here, but I want to show you the logo. What it is, it's a V with 4 lines on one side. That represents the 4 generations of my family. Me being John and I being in the 4th generation. The line on the right being kind of the new generation, the new direction, and the new ideas of John and Chris at Viansa. So that's kind of our representation of that. What we also have on the label here is some beautiful artwork done by a very talented young lady out of Florence. Her name's Maria Giannini. She is an Italian marble paper artist. Marble paper is most popular in the in-leaf of very old traditional books. And if you've ever picked up a very antique book and opened it, you typically will see this type of marble paper. But what we've done is we have created a relationship with her where she is making artwork based off of the colors and the designs that represent the winery, that represent the story, and represent the wines. So some very, very cool stuff coming out of there. Very happy, very honored to be working with a true Italian artist. And 6 generations is incredible.
Right.
The family history that she has in Italy is staggering. I never would have imagined that I would be sharing this new brand with everybody in their homes in this 30th year of Viansa's existence. But I'm still very happy and very privileged to be able to do so via video. So all of you who are watching this, thank you very, very much. It's all about family. It's all about enjoying the wines. It's about treating yourself, and it's about celebrating. And so that's what we're here to do with our summer whites. And we'll go ahead and taste through these. We are going to start off with the rosé. This is probably one of our most anticipated white wines or white-ish wines of the year. I'm very excited about it. The team is. We got a new vineyard source on this rosé from one of our neighbors. So it's within about 500 yards of our property line is where this rosé of Pinot Noir is coming from. So you can see it's very pale, it's very light. That's the typical Provençal style rosé. It's going to be a little bit drier, so not too sweet. It's going to be a more serious rosé, which we're very happy about.
Ready for summer.
Yeah, I'm ready for the pool. I get a lot of watermelon. I get some peach on the nose, and it's just lovely and fresh. Wonderful. Get some nice red apples. A little bit of apricot on the tongue there.
I definitely get the apricot. We've so been looking forward to having this come out. I've been waiting with bated breath, and then to have such a gorgeous label and such a nice sipping wine. Even though we can't be with friends, we can get on Zoom, we can sit on the front porch and even be socially distant. This would be the way to start that off, that's for sure. So I think if you invited anyone over with this wine, they'd come flocking, that's for sure.
And when this video is over, I fully intend to finish most of this bottle of wine. So
if that's not telling you anything, I don't know what it is.
All right, we are continuing on with our tasting here. We started with the Rosé, which was lovely, and now we're moving on to the Pinot Grigio. This is a very, very nice, very approachable wine. I'm super happy with it. It's coming off of a vineyard called the Morning Sun Vineyard. This is a special place for a couple reasons. One being it's operated by a fourth generation wine growing family that we have bought grapes from for 4 generations in Sonoma, the Cundy family. And it's a south-facing vineyard. It's North Valley, so it's a little bit higher elevation and it's a little bit warmer there. And you get these really ripe, really floral, beautiful white wines off of it. From the vineyard, you can see San Francisco, but it's climate-wise, it's an entire world away. So very happy with this wine.
It just exudes citrus when you first smell it.
There's actually some surprising depth to that.
I was expecting just a citrus explosion in my mouth, which I was ready for and excited for, but it's so much smoother and has a little subtle apricot.
Yeah, I get pear and nectarine off of it. So you get that citrus, which is kind of that light, like ethereal nose on it. But when you actually taste it, it pulls you in, and it's got deeper fruit flavors in there, that peach and that nectarine, kind of the stone fruit flavors, which give it a little bit more body than is typical in Pinot Grigios. Fun story about this wine, at least this varietal. When Mom and Dad were researching how they were going to build Viansa and the embodiment of the Italian spirit, we as a family would travel to Italy. We did a few of these trips, and I was young back then. I was 8 or 9. And we would sit down for lunch, and they were always drinking this white wine, and the lunches lasted for hours and hours and hours, which is typical for
They were
Italians.
enjoying themselves.
They had a blast, and I never understood what they were drinking. And then later on, they told me that it was Pinot Grigio, a classic Italian white wine varietal. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this wine for Viansa, so we can share that familiar feeling of getting together and celebrating. Something as simple as a lunch can go for hours, and we can have a great time and be with the ones that we love. So
Cheers to that.
cheers. All right, moving on to our Sauvignon Blanc, which, as I'm sure most of you know, is a perfect summertime wine. Crisp, refreshing. This one's a little bit less fruit forward than the Pinot Grigio. It's a little bit more steely, a little bit more grassy, which is a flavor characteristic that I love. It's a special wine for us because I think out of the wines that my family drinks the most, it's probably Sauvignon Blanc.
This family loves Sauvignon Blanc. If you need a key to their heart or to grab their attention, just say Sauvignon Blanc and you will have it. It's great.
It is so true. Lifetime subscription to Sauvignon Blanc in every way, shape, and form. So couldn't be happier to bring this one to you guys. This one has a touch of this Vernache in it, actually, which is kind of fun. That brings the depth a little bit further forward.
Oh yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that's nice.
That'll do.
Yeah, that wine is surprisingly engaging. You know, for a 100% stainless steel white wine, you don't expect there to be that level of complexity and flavors. There's actually a lot more to that wine.
You know, this can also be paired with some great cheese platters, but it'll really stand up well to any spicy food. We love Thai food in this household, so that would go incredibly well. Indian food, those sort of robust flavors.
And now for the Vernaccia. We have this one labeled as Santo Giordano Bianco, which in Italian means white wine from St. Jordan's vineyard. This vineyard is immediately south of the Viansa property, and it's vines that Mom and Dad planted with the Smith family in 1997. This was a long-term vision for Mom and Dad to see this wine to fruition. But it didn't come without challenges that we still face to this day. One being that literally translated, Vernaccia means village grape. So it's hard to get it recognized as a prime varietal with the TTB. So you can't put Vernaccia on the main label. You have to call it a white wine. But this is a white wine from Italy, planted by Mom and Dad. It's from a specific region, being San Gimignano, which is in Tuscany. It's a very beautiful area where we visited several times when we were researching the Viansa story. And Mom and Dad decided to make this wine here in California. Vernaccia is a tricky grape to grow. It's surprisingly prone to sunburn, which is not something you'd think of with grapes. So it requires special canopy training in the vines. So you have to train the leaves to cover the fruit so the fruit doesn't get sunburned. So it's very difficult to grow good Vernaccia, but I think that we have one. We planted it well when we started. And we're very happy to share this with you today.
I've been hearing so much about this wine and just looking at it and pouring it. I have not tasted it yet, and I can't wait. And the nose is definitely this stone fruit, and it's incredible. I could sit here and smell it. I actually want to make perfume out of it. So that is just wild, actually.
God, yeah, the aromatics on this wine is insane.
Okay, this is now one of my favorites, without question. So Chris might be finishing this off tonight, but this I'm going to take with me. So it tastes incredible. Oh my goodness. If you need to smell this wine, you need to taste this wine. This is incredibly special. It's incredibly special what they're doing with this. I'm so impressed. I get to live with it firsthand, but you guys, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this wine is very different from all of these wines here. It's not, when I taste it, it's a lot rounder. It's a lot smoother of a wine. This is a wine that chilled, I feel like I could easily consume a bottle of it, probably dangerously so. It's also very different. This is not a typical flavor profile for wines, white wines like this. So something super unique, something fun to bring home and talk about. With the Italian heritage, the single vineyard next to Viansa, Santo Giordano, meaning Saint Jordan, Jordan Smith, the founder of the ranch that's just south of Viansa. He and my father were very good friends. He ended up growing a lot of the vines that we are producing today. Another one to look forward to that's bottling soon is the Primitivo, which will be absolutely delicious but towards the end of this year. This is the first one off of Santo Giordano, so very exciting, very tasty. Try it. Tell me what you think.
Well done. Well, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in, for going along this journey with us. We're learning as we go along. I'm so proud of what Chris and John are doing and the whole team. It's incredible. And this little taste of summer that they have here for you is definitely has me in the spirit. So thank you so much. I think I'll be taking this bottle with me. So cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Our best wishes, our heartfelt condolences to anybody who's being affected by the stay at home right now. God knows we're all in the same boat here. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, and don't be afraid to treat yourself and drink some beautiful wines. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.